You know that thing where the harder you try to fall asleep, the more your brain just won't shut up? Look, pretty much everyone's looking for help these days. When I was younger, I thought I had everything figured out. Didn't need anyone, didn't need anything. But then life hits you with this overwhelming sense of being completely lost. You're just floating in this chaotic world that makes zero sense. And this world, it's brutal, full of pain, tragedy, random terrible things happening to good people. And you're sitting there like, why am I even here? How did I end up in this mess? What am I supposed to do with my life? Oh, and by the way, everyone you love is going to die, including you, and it might hurt. So the real question is there any way to actually get control of this situation? Stop scrolling for a second. Right now, while you're listening to this, check what your mind is doing. Is it already trying to solve this problem? Yeah? That's exactly what we need to talk about. We try everything to escape feeling like we're just alone in our heads in this massive, uncaring universe. Maybe we grind for money, chase status, buy stuff, use apps and technology to fix our problems, cure our anxiety, eliminate our pain. But here's the thing that'll mess with your head. Even when we win, we still feel empty. Think about it. Remember that promotion you wanted? That thing you finally bought? That goal you crushed? How long did that high last? A week? Maybe a month? Be real with yourself. You think more money will fix your problems. You get more money. You feel good for, what, 2 weeks? Then you're not worried about rent anymore. But now you're stressed about your health, or your relationships, or climate change. There's always something. Here's the mind bender. Your problems aren't actually about your circumstances, because you're anxious no matter what's happening. The real problem is your brain. Wait, did you catch that? The problem isn't out there in the world. It's in here, in your head. But here's where it gets weird. What if you could just control your thoughts? Stop the anxiety. Everyone's got advice. Just think positive thoughts. Meditate. Manifest good vibes. Repeat affirmations until you believe them. But let's be honest. Half the time, that stuff just makes you feel like you're gaslighting yourself. Like you're pretending everything's fine when it's clearly not. Try this right now. Tell yourself, I'm totally chill. Everything's perfect. What happened? Did you actually feel chill? Or did it feel fake? Like you're performing for yourself? Turns out controlling your mind isn't some life hack you can master in a weekend. You might calm down the surface level stuff, but underneath there's this whole unconscious mess that pops up randomly, just like the crazy stuff happening in the world. So maybe you need therapy, or a life coach, or a guru, someone who can show you the blind spots you can't see. But then, the plot twist that breaks everything, the deeper you go, the more you realize there's something seriously messed up about this whole self-improvement thing. Think about it. How are you supposed to fix yourself when you're the one who's broken? It's like trying to perform surgery on yourself. It's like someone saying, just relax when you're having a panic attack. You know you should chill out. You want to let go, but there's this part of you that just won't. And here's the crazy part. Every wisdom tradition eventually hits the same wall. The Jewish rebel soul. Christianity's, I want to do good but do evil instead. Rumi's trapped soul banging on the door. Hinduism's warrior, paralyzed by inner conflict. Buddhism's mind, trying to quiet the mind. Zen's riding a horse while looking for the horse. We all know this feeling. The question is, how do you change it? But if you're the problem, who's going to fix you? It's like asking, who's watching the watchers? Who's moderating the moderators? Who's fact-checking the fact-checkers? It's an endless loop with no way out. And just when you think it can't get more confusing, all the spiritual stuff talks about having two selves. Your lower self, your ego, your petty, anxious, selfish side, and your higher self, your soul, your wise, loving, spiritual side. Your higher self is supposed to transform your ego, but every tradition sees this same split. Flesh versus spirit. Ego soul versus divine spirit. Evil inclination versus good inclination. Ego maker versus true self. Psychology's ID versus superego. Sometimes your higher self wins, but a lot of times it doesn't. Why doesn't someone's inner wisdom break through? Is their ego too strong? If so, who's going to weaken it? Is their spiritual side too weak? But why would that be? If we're all supposedly connected to the same source, the puzzle just persists, no matter what path you take. And it gets weirder. We're constantly trying to level up, chasing positive experiences, good vibes, success, happiness, while running from negative stuff, bad feelings, failure, sadness. But here's the thing. Your consciousness literally works on contrast. Your brain is basically a computer where neurons either fire or don't fire. Everything you experience is made up of incredibly complex patterns of yes and no. Your brain right now is literally processing millions of on-off switches every second. And this shows up everywhere. Taoism's yin and yang, Zoroastrianism's good versus evil, Christianity's good versus evil, Judaism's purposeful bad inclination, Islam's ease and hardship from the same source, Hinduism's liberating, trapping experiences, Buddhism's first truth about suffering, psychology's need for both positive and negative emotions. But what are we trying to do? We want yang without yin. We want a game where we always win and never lose. We want everyone to get a participation trophy. Imagine a coin with only heads. Imagine music with only high notes. Imagine a mountain range with only peaks and no valleys. We don't get that you can't recognize the heroes without the villains, the wise without the foolish. There's no escape from this, which explains that feeling you get. The more successful you become, whether in career or personal growth, the more you feel like you're still stuck in the same place. You know that feeling? That hollow victory? Like you climbed the ladder, only to realize it was leaning against the wrong building. So you think, okay, maybe the answer is to stop wanting anything, not just material stuff, but even spiritual progress. Every path has a version of this. Buddhism says eliminate craving. Christianity talks about dying to yourself. Hinduism teaches detachment. Islam has asceticism. Judaism emphasizes letting go of control. Taoism talks about effortless action. Makes sense, right? Just stop wanting things. Problem solved. But try it. Try not wanting anything. You'll immediately notice. You want to not want? It's like trying not to think of a pink elephant. The harder you try, the more pink and elephantine it gets. Rumi nailed this. You're not just a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in each drop. The part of you trying to eliminate desire. Is the desire trying to eliminate itself? Christian mystic Meister Eckhart. God's foundation and the soul's foundation are the same foundation. Hindu teacher Ramana Maharshi. The I that wants to destroy the ego is the ego. Even the Buddha's last words were, work out your own salvation. But who is doing the work? The seeker is what's being sought. The problem is the solution. The question is the answer. So now you're in this situation where nothing you try works. You're supposed to practice non-doing, non-striving. But then you realize it's incredibly hard not to try. You end up in this hopeless place where you can't get liberation through effort. And you can't get it through not trying either. You're stuck. Screwed if you do, screwed if you don't. Or are you? Here's what you learn from all this. You cannot force concentration. Let that sit for a minute. You cannot force concentration. The harder you try to focus, the more distracted you become, realizing that all your efforts to escape the human condition through willpower always fail. Isn't actually failure. It's the beginning of wisdom. When you really get that, both doing and not doing are equally useless as escape strategies. You might finally be ready to see what's beyond this whole framework of problems and solutions. What if there was never actually a problem to solve? Maybe the answer isn't fixing the paradox, but seeing through it completely. The deepest spiritual traditions all hint at this. The very act of seeking is what creates the sense of separation. You're trying to heal. The problem isn't that you haven't found the right method. It's that you're looking for a method at all. It's like spending your whole life looking for your phone while you're talking on it. When this really clicks, not as an idea, but as something you actually get, something else might show up, not as an achievement, but as recognizing something that was never actually missing. And here's the final plot twist nobody sees coming. Listen to what every tradition is actually saying. Rumi, what you're looking for is looking for you. Jesus, the kingdom of heaven is inside you. Buddha's final realization, there was never anyone to become enlightened. Hindu teaching, you are that. Jewish mysticism, where you're standing right now, is holy ground. Taoism, the Tao you can talk about isn't the real Tao. Even quantum physics, the observer and what's being observed are the same thing. They're all saying the same impossible thing. You are what you're looking for. The spiritual path isn't about getting somewhere else. It's about realizing you were never actually separated from what you thought you needed to find. The whole journey was the destination recognizing itself. The wave realizes it was always the ocean. This isn't the end of the conversation. It's maybe where it actually starts. What happens when the person searching realizes there was never anyone searching and nothing to find? That's where the real adventure begins.